Welcome back to topic 2.9. We're going to round out unit 2 of the CSA topics series with math.random, the completion of using the math class according to the Java Quick Reference. So if you notice here, our last essential knowledge statements that we're going to cover are using math.random and manipulating math.random to get a customized result. Here's a little bit about math.random. Math.random gives us a double result. That's important to remember. It's always going to give us a double by default. That's the setting, which is a number that's greater than 0.0, 0.0, and less than 1.0. So here's a number line to represent what math.random can produce or will produce when it's called. Casting, which you learned in Unit 1, can be used to convert the double result that math.random gives us into an integer type so that we get a whole number. Math.random is always followed, a call to it, by an empty set of parameter brackets. Math.random can be placed in an output statement or assigned to a variable, and I'll show it to you both ways in this video. Okay, we're going to predict some outcomes using math.random. I teased with this in the previous video. If we call system.out.println and what we want it to print is a math.random result, you're going to get any number between 0.0 and 1.0. So you get any number in that range. We can also get a random number by declaring a variable and defining that variable as a math.random result, and then calling the printout of that variable. So this is like a two-step if we need a variable held for that item. We might get this number. All right, what do you think you're going to get if you call math.random and multiply the result by 10? Think back to 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, maybe even younger. What happens when you multiply a number by 10? If you said out loud or to yourself that the decimal place would be moved by 1, you were right. It will move that decimal place to give you a different answer. All right, if we call math.random and we multiply by 100, but then we also add 1 to it, what's going to happen? We're going to get a number between 1 and 100. And in this case, this number is exclusive. It's not going to include the number 100. It would include all the way up to 99. One other thing I wanted to point out in this line of code is I've casted the result. I used casting to cast the result as an integer. So that what would happen if you type in and run this code multiple times is you're going to get all types of numbers, you know, a 62, a 58, a 12, a 3, a 1. You're going to get all types of numbers, but they're going to be given back to you in whole numbers because of the use of casting. All right, now I want you to look at a AP multiple choice question from the course and exam description. This is question 3 provided for you in the CED. Pause the video and predict your result and choose your answer A through E on this multiple choice item. All right, now I'm going to show you the answer. Hopefully you'll get it right. The answer is D. That was correct. And this is a Skill 1C assessment item from the Con 1D learning objective. Here's the question again, if you'd like to pause it and look at D. Notice that the question stem was seeking an inclusive answer result, which means we would want to be able to include the number 60. Now I want to talk for a minute about how we can use math.random to help us with probability predictions. So just using a basic call to math.random, we get a number, remember, between 0.0 and 1.0. And if we use selection, which you're going to learn about in Unit 3, we can look for numbers that might fall below 0.2 and that would give us a 20% probability of something, and you can kind of see my others. Whatever probability you're looking for, you can use selection to have it look inside those low numbers. You don't have to do a lot of complicated math to use math.random to do some probability predictions with Java code. So from this lesson, what you want to take away is the completion of your ability to use all the 5 math class methods that are provided in the JQR, and then the use of casting to allow you to give an int result or an int type for a math.random result. Thank you for watching, and thank you for learning CSA and completing Unit 2.